Feel like that was a good segue into saying hello, even though I feel like we probably should have dropped the next beat in this song, and I know you weren't listening to that, but welcome, man. Thank you for joining us, everyone out there in internet land. We've got Dilemma on the line with us, the mayor of Matic tonight. We're gonna do a little bit different kind of show tonight. Oh, hey Doc in chat, thanks for joining us as well. Make sure you holler and ask any questions, especially if there's anything that you want to look at. a little bit different tonight. Again, all of these are informal, so we want people to ask questions and be interactive. But we're probably just going to look at a couple of charts at first, kind of go around the current events. But tonight, the mayor's joining us, and we wanted to kind of look at some historical NFT projects. He's been doing some research, and it's actually pretty interesting what he's uncovered. Again, just want to say hello to you. Thanks for joining us again, Mr. Mayor.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. And yeah, welcome to the chill stream again. Thanks for joining us, Ray and Doc, and everybody else out there in internet land. Appreciate all the retweets and likes and follows and all that stuff. Again, that's how we get get our brand out there and exposure. And we like doing these interactive meetings and just kind of getting ideas from the community, as well as just looking at realistic things, what people are looking at right in current events right now. The big bad Bitcoin, what are we going to do? And the oh shit zone that we're actually looking at right now. Dilemma. So this is a little bit more interactive with you. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see as well. And we'll just right over there. How about that?
Oh, good. We're catching support on the oh shit zone.
Yeah, the oh shit zone looks pretty hot, doesn't it? And so let's look at this. Like, we're already here, right? So from a few different ways. The one way you can look at this is, okay, this is kind of a clear support line, and it's held. The other way is the more times you test support, the less likely it is to hold. So I guess it kind of depends on what camp you're coming from there. Um, I will say this before we get, too in depth or technical or and start losing people right off the bat. I was looking at this today. And if you're from, the old school and you've been around a while, you've probably heard the 618 being talked about, or, like a Fibonacci level. So, like, this is what this chart is here. Just kind of drew the basic Fibonacci range or, chart from, this is from the April low in 2020. So this is just kind of a simple weekly chart with just a simple Fibonacci retrace. So from point to point, right? Top to bottom, which we're talking about. This one's actually 3850. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not trying to look for precision per se. We're just kind of trying to get a visual on like what this retrace looks like. So from, this bottom to this top, where we're at right now. And the golden ratio, they always say, when it comes to Bitcoin, is the 618 level. And what does that mean? Well, that's actually the retrace, right, from this top to where it's actually, kind of looks like it's holding support right now. If you kind of did the math, or look at this particular chart with this range on it, that 618 level is around 27K. So hey, it's a nice visual, right? Is it actually going to be the you shall not pass line and hold, and with the repeating kind of fallacy gonna repeat itself, and this will hold and we'll move on. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Again, I don't put all my eggs in one basket. Anytime you're looking at charts or uh, indicators or that sort of thing, you want to kind of use everything, right, to just kind of get an interpretation or a visual or tell a story. But you definitely don't want to use any one thing to make decisions. Thoughts on the golden ratio or Fibo or the 618. You ever used any of that when you're doing any trading, Mr. Mayor?
No. I'm I kind of played around with Fibonacci for a time, but uh I was kind of I don't really even trade much anymore, but what worked for me was just like standard like trend trading and just
I know you like standard trend lines, and maybe you can share.
that just kind of prevented me from getting wrecked on because like in the bear market, I mean, if you didn't figure out how to identify like bottoms, you're just gonna get destroyed. But yeah, like that's basically what I did. Or like some like, you know, higher time frame moving averages like the 200 and
Well, these
bit.
these are kind of, yeah, these are the kind of indicators that I use just like on a template to pull up, any coin or kind of whatever I'm looking at. But I know the hot topic right now is like, hey, is this a bottom or is this going to bottom out? It sure looks heavy right now. It sure looks like we're going down to really go spelunking
Yeah.
here, which if the bottom falls out of this, which it could, this things are going to get ugly. So, if you're holding on to something or you're like preparing for that or preparing for the worst, nothing wrong with that if you're trying to get conservative or protect some sort of, assets or whatever. And unless, if you're like me, you're just kind of looking to accumulate more, right? So it gets a little bit
It's
easier
a
when you're not doing the short-term
it's
stuff.
a tough spot because I mean, no matter what decision you make, you're putting yourself at risk of getting faked out because if you exit Bitcoin here and it does bounce, what are you going to do?
Right.
FOMO back in at 35?
That's always kind of the way it goes. Dollar cost averaging again that we preach now. Sometimes looking back in the rearview mirror, it looks a lot easier too. But again, is this the spot you want to take big gambles right now? I don't know.
And it
But
it
again,
depends
this
what you're
happens very
doing.
fast, right? This is only, a couple of weeks right here. Look at, how these moves, right? And then, 2 weeks, right back down to where we're at. So
Yeah, for me, like like if Doc was on here, Doc's a guy that likes to leverage trade. So these types of levels, if you're leverage trading, it doesn't matter because you can open a long, you can open a short, you can play stops and just let it play out. For me, all my Bitcoin is basically when I'm taking profit on alts, it's going into Bitcoin, it's going into Ethereum. So like Bitcoin, I'm not really touching that. Like I don't plan on touching any of my Bitcoin for like the next 10 years.
I'm kind of in that mindset now where my Bitcoin stack is just my stack, and that's all I'm trying to
Yeah,
do is
it's like
stack more
it
Bitcoin.
is truly my store of value. So it's like
This is
I
also an
don't
interesting indicator. We also have a wheel to spin, which I didn't mention at the beginning. I'll flash that up here just because it's so pretty, which I forgot to mention. This is for a rabbit hole giveaway pack, which we've already taken the names. These are all the wax wallets. That form is in our Telegram. So if you missed this one, we're gonna put another one up right away after this one. So make sure you jump on our Telegram and start filling out forms because that's probably how we're going to do those in the future. These are two weird ones that people don't use that I kind of like to share. You look in my like indicators, I have a bunch of them. So I encourage people again, everything that we look at, like even the stuff we teach with, the stuff I'm streaming on, these templates we use, like this is all stuff that you can go out and download for free. Go out here and play with these, right? Like go out there and make a TradingView account. We can't stress that enough. Go play with these indicators. If you want to look at the ones that I like, or, uh, I think Doc said he likes the KDJ. Let's pull that up, see what that thing looks like too. These are a couple of, I guess different, if you want to call kind of indicators. So this hash ribbons is only Bitcoin, and this is actually based on minor capitulation events and hash. So we are going through a quote unquote minor capitulation event, if you want to call it right now. A lot of that has to do with mining in China and just moving things around. But you can see like, from this chart, the last kind of quote unquote buy signals on this minor capitulation hash ribbons. Again, this you can just go out and look at TradingView, and this is I want to say it was Charles Hodgkins set this up. It's actually kind of cool. You can see we're in the middle of this event. It hasn't actually flashed the buy signal up, but that's also kind of very close to looking like it, might start kind of turning around there. Again, that's all based on, nothing else but hash rate, which is very interesting. This other one's a Fisher transform, which is, just kind of something I've used from other markets to help you kind of visualize bottoms. Now, again, this is on a weekly, and this KDJ is similar. So when these lines start flipping around, it kind of indicates a trend reversal. I still agree with you, Doc, that everything in here looks weak right now. And as soon as you flip this to the monthly, it just looks even worse. Right, so we can take this out of here. And, that thing just really, if I put my old template back on here, it really just looks even worse. It's really tough to get excited about this look right now. You know what I mean? So just
Yeah.
take that with caution, guys, because again, this is, not really it looks funky and the chart looks weird this way, but you got to understand, like, this is the new world, guys. So you need to either adapt or you're going to get crushed. There's a lot more liquidity in here both ways. It's going both ways, and people are getting their heads chopped off. Don't be that guy. So I can help you kind of navigate the waters. Happy to do that. Any questions, any comments before we kind of move on? Any symbols you guys want to look at? Anything interesting in here that you want to talk about? Guys out there on the internet, or you, sir, Dilemma?
Um,
Or did I need to go look at Matic, right? I can't have the mayor on and I go look. Did you want to share your fancy Matic charts? You got some sort of, like,
I gotta, no,
secret formula for us?
no, the pain's not gonna stop until the
it
majors turn around. So
looks, I mean,
that's
it
the
looks the same
formula.
thing. Like, it just is about to fall off a cliff. It monthly looks awful. Again, these things pumped a lot, so now we're doing retrace, and it's like, where do we stop, right? There's really no angle or, like, specific things I wanted to look at on these. I mean, this is kind of an interesting, I guess, retrace area, if you want to call it that. But a lot of stuff, I mean, that looks kind of similar to Ethereum right now. So
I could show you.
it's interesting. That's the line we actually drew when we were talking about this. Like, maybe it's going to bounce one more time. It's definitely bouncing. Hopefully it bounces now, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Do you mind if I pull up my chart?
I'm going to quit sharing here and pull yours up.
Okay. Does that look good?
Yeah.
So this is the BLX, which is the Bitcoin Liquid Index. So it's like an average, but um, like what I've been watching this whole cycle is that, like, this 2013 double bubble I've been talking about, where we went up straight off, like, this is basically the all-time high. It was like $30, and then we blew straight through. And I mean, can you imagine living this? Like, imagine we're here, you know, imagine we're looking at this, like, you're thinking this is over, this is bear market, and you start, or even if you took profit up here at 170 and that sucker just takes off on you,
Sure.
it goes to 1200, like, you're
It
gonna be sick.
and it's interesting looking at that cycle, because that looks very similar to kind of what we're looking at right now. Like, this first big nuclear run up, and then this, like, nasty blow off, period of hangover. But is that, like, the last one? It sure doesn't feel like it right now. It sure feels like all these, like, big industries and, like, big money hedge funds are just, like, gearing up for, like, the next run. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't like the term super cycle or whatever. I don't really look at any of this like that. Like, we talked about kind of before the show, like, maybe there could be sort of a peaceful transition, if you want to call it that. But people are gonna have to figure out where this all, where they sit and where this all shakes out and how that works for big companies and banks and stuff.
Yeah, so, like, the one thing you can take note is all these are blow off tops, blow off top, blow off top, blow off top, blow off top. Even this I mean, this is not really a blow off top, but I mean,
Yeah, that was an interesting run. That was
none of
really
these,
tough to trade.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this was crazy because it was like, yeah, let's just not even talk about it. But
That was a big like fake out, you know.
yeah, um, this is a period in time when a lot of people were calling for 20K, and these purple dots I have plotted are the halvings. So I remember on this run up to 14K, a lot of people were like, we're going to 20 and we're blown through it. And a lot of people that were like, fans of the halving theory were saying, no, it's too early because historically, we've never broken all time high before the halving. So you can see over here in 2016, we had to go through the halving. And then that restriction that the protocol reduces the block reward. For anybody that doesn't know, the block reward was like 12.5 BTC every 10 minutes. It reduces in half. The miners have less Bitcoin to dump. So that drives the price up. And then once again, we had to wait until we got the halving to drive the price up. But to me, like this top, it looks nothing like a cycle top because it's a like slow multi-week rollover. I mean, you look at this, it's like 1 week up, 1 week down, over. This is like chop
Yeah,
for
if you look at it in between those
3 months.
trend lines you have drawn there, it really looks like we're in no man's land, you know. And I invite people to stop thinking in terms of, hey, we're at 30K, and just start looking at stuff like this, right? Like, hey, you know, if this is actually this kind of range here, I mean, we could be in a middle of this sort of, you know, pattern, right? I mean, it's zoom out, you know, and it's interesting when you're actually looking
Definitely.
at these kind of cycles like this. This is a beautiful chart, by the way.
That's why this is my favorite, not even just this chart, but just people say zoom out. This is what I always look at. So it's like if I'm not looking at this, I'm looking at like some like the 12-month moving average or something like that actually like provides support throughout this chart. And that's where we're at right now. I think if you turn on the 12-month moving average, we're like testing it, I think. But it's to me like the super cycle theory is, if you notice, we ride trend and then we top out. This trend line here, like you test it, we never get back above the previous cycle trend. So this was like the old cycle trend. And then once you break through it, you never overcome it. You can never get back through it. So then we broke through the 2017 trend and we didn't really test it. We didn't fully test it. We didn't touch. But to me, like the super cycle theory is like when we blow through one of these, like if that's the new paradigm shift, like we're not going to test one of these. We're going to like blow through it. And then it's going to be like game over. Like, I don't know what that'll look like though.
I'm okay with that.
A lot of macro things in play. A lot of, what's gold going to look like? What are all these third world currencies going to look like? Michael Saylor's saying that crypto is going to be good for the US government and the US dollar because it's going to basically destroy all these third world fiat currencies. And when they go hit like double digit inflation and people start downloading mobile wallets and using, USDC on Ethereum like they are in Venezuela right now, because the US government's sending benefit payments to Venezuelans on Ethereum, which is insane to me. That could be like a real transition to like, where the petrodollar is providing all this like artificial demand for US dollars, where we could transition to a system where like the whole world's using the US dollar as like global reserve currency, but they're trading it against crypto. If you look at all the charts, USD is like the number one stable pair. Like nobody's really trading anything else against
That's
Bitcoin.
an interesting theory. I actually hadn't heard him say that before. I know, I mean,
He said, there's a clip. He
he's
says,
taking like Bitcoin Bull to a whole new level. I mean,
yeah, it's
definitely.
almost like cringe if you've been around long enough. You're like, man, you're going too far. You're going too far. But it seems like
I don't
he,
know. I like
I
his
don't know.
stuff better than like a Max Kaiser, to be honest. I mean, he's
Well,
not out there
yeah,
like screaming BitConnect, I
right.
mean,
Max Kaiser's just like, I got to see Max Kaiser in person. It was pretty entertaining, but it's just
I'd probably like it if I was getting
theatrical.
drunk with him and, whatever, but I don't know. It just I don't like the screaming and yelling and the antic stuff. I think, the kind of next stage of this is normalizing cryptocurrency, kind of bringing it to people in real world applications and definitely business people and business owners. And they have a lot of struggles when it comes to this kind of stuff right now. Paying salaries, paying people, we have a lot of hurdles to jump over. So
Right
that's
on.
that's the way I look at it. Like we have a lot of work to do from like an industry standpoint.
I agree.
You want to change gears here and talk some
So,
some NFTs?
yeah, let's do a market recap.
All right, I'm gonna
So,
drop I'm gonna drop a promo real quick here because we got obviously our promo's been doing pretty well, so our blends are still available. Hold 10 of those promos and come out to the website and blend it.
yeah, get to GOLDMANN.com. It's in all our profile bios, and
Yep,
get
Stacks
over there,
Club.
get a Wax wallet if you don't got one, and load that sucker. Go get you some Goldman Stacks NFTs and all the one. What are you doing? The rabbit hole one at the end of the show?
It doesn't matter when yeah, I mean, we might as well go through these and then we'll spin the wheel and give that away, and then we'll get another one uh up right away. And the next show, we'll also probably give one away during the show, so reward some participation.
Yeah. So what do you want? People dropping Wax addresses in the chats?
No, that's gonna be a form we're gonna put in the Telegram.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
and if
on
you
the
guys
on the
did the
next
Telegram
show,
room,
yeah, on the next show, we'll do like a participation giveaway, and we'll figure out if we want to do wax wallets and chats or blow it up. Trying to figure out how to make it a little bit more automated, so I don't have to like pull wallets out of the chat during the stream. But we'll come up with something.
so
Maybe we'll drop a
best
form in the chat.
advice, best advice for the viewers, get to the Goldman Stacks Twitter and then set notifications on and you'll get alerts on all the drops and stuff if you want to participate and get like free stuff.
Yeah, you're welcome, Dub Wizard. And we're still talking about some more giveaways. Just everybody's been extremely busy. We've got lots of cool stuff to give away. So the more promotions and stuff that we can get out there for all people on all social media platforms. That's what we want to do. So definitely be in touch with you as well. Thank you for joining tonight. But yeah, let's switch gears here. We can spin the wheel after we kind of talk some NFTs because I wanted to talk to you about this. Let me move. I'm gonna hide this chat, or I guess maybe I could pull up the talk show and move this. Well, then I can't really see it. Hang on, I want to hide our chat. And again, I'm still paying attention, guys. So if you have questions about the stuff that we're talking about, make sure you ask them. But I just want to move them so we can kind of see everything. And he's on Crypto Slam right now. But if you guys want to, see or ask questions, go ahead. So yeah, we can see your whole screen now. We're looking at Crypto Slam, obviously Wax right now, but this is Crypto Slam that also has Axie on it, so you can look at Ronin, which is kind of cool, as well as some of these other chains like Flow and uh, obviously Wax is on here, Ethereum, Deadheads. I hadn't seen that one before.
Yeah, so Axie's always doing numbers. Ronin, I've been playing around with. I got to get my stuff moved, but I tried logging into my Axies and it won't work because I haven't moved my Axies to Ronin. So it's a separate wallet. I think it's a side chain, just like
Well, I need to
kind of
do
like
that so I can be
engine.
the guinea pig and maybe we can do it, and video it or whatever.
Right on. Yeah, so it's a lot of work being early in crypto because things are developing and then you got to adjust and adapt, make things happen. But so Bored Ape, this is interesting. Bored Ape Kennel Club flipped Bored Ape Yacht Club in daily sales. And if you're unaware, the Kennel Club is a derivative of the Bored Ape. So if you bought an ape, you got I don't know if they gave it to you, you're allowed to mint it, your little pet dog. And so now it's like the derivative product is flip the OG product, which is interesting. And
I
then,
love that they had 2.7 million dollars in sales in 24 hours. And
yeah,
people are
man.
like, NFTs are dead. And the Bored Ape Kennel Club
You know,
just turned over $2.7 million in a down market in 24 hours.
I it is very interesting that NFTs are doing so well during this bear trend. And I think it's just like the fact is, people used to just buy altcoins and they would, that was all we had. And people were speculating on altcoins.
I agree with you. We're
So,
sitting on tons of NFTs that I would never sell for like a fiat value, right? Like,
right,
sure, if your NFT moons and it becomes very desirable and a project blows up and you want to take some profit or like take some money out, absolutely. But like there's NFTs that are sentimental to me, and I think that people still aren't correlating that. There's stuff that I've earned in games that are now several years old that are priceless to me regardless of the value. And yes, they're worth a lot of money because they're worth something to other people because of the scarcity and utility or whatever. But again, I would never sell those. There is no dollar amount. I'll hold them forever. I'll pass them to my children or I'll die with them, right? Like they're not going anywhere, right?
right on. Yeah, so I think an interesting thing is like if you're not into this and you don't understand it, this stuff is not being traded for dollars, it's being traded for Ethereum. So as the price of spot Ethereum drops from $4,000 to 1,700, none of these people really care because they're trading for more Ethereum. So they're just trading apes and aliens and punks to grow their ETH stack. And they don't really care. So it's like I think that's part of the reason you see these big numbers is, they're just trading ETH against NFTs. It's not like a dollars thing
Right. And
per
that they're
se.
starting there's a lot of people that are in these crypto economies now that are looking at it like that, like, hey, I want to go ahead and sell this now because I can get more Ethereum for it, right? There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. I mean, if you truly are able to kind of sustain yourself like that and kind of live in that world or have enough cryptocurrency you know, or maybe, part of your net worth or most of your net worth is in cryptocurrency. Uh, that's not realistic for a
And
lot of people, obviously, but
and this is why like a lot of people complain about Ethereum gas fees and stuff. It's like, look at these guys that were minting bored apes for like, I don't even remember what it was. It was probably well below 1 Ethereum. So they're minting these, and it like some of these guys are running into projects minting like a dozen apes, and then it blows up. They're not thinking about gas. It's like I'm trading this ape, I'm buying this ape for 5 Ethereum, I'm selling this ape for 12 Ethereum. Like if the gas is $20 or $100, it doesn't care because they're selling like products that are thousands of dollars. So it it displaces the DeFi user that's trying to like plug $200 of like USDC into some protocol to farm some new coin or something.
the cafeteria coins, as I like to call them. And then people bash me for being negative, but
That's a good name, cafeteria coins. I mean, some of them have use cases, but let's not spend too much time on that. So, uh,
Yeah, let's not digress into DeFi games.
yeah. So the reason these punks have just skyrocketed to the stratosphere of NFTs is because the narrative has been for the longest time they're the first NFT project, quote unquote, art project, because an NFT is a non fungible token, which is essentially an ERC 721, which is just a token contract. So the narrative has been these were the oldest project on Ethereum. And something very interesting happened this week, or yeah, I think this week or last week, is uh, there was a post and some people were complaining on Twitter that on OpenSea, they were crediting them with being the oldest NFT project on ETH, however you say it. And some people pointed out that there's this older project called Curio Cards. And then the guy that runs OpenSea, he actually came along and he said he corrected it. And now Curio Cards are credited with being the first NFT project on Ethereum.
So you
So
immediately went out and bought a bunch of them.
I did.
Are you gonna flex them or what?
Yeah, we'll get into it. So
I
uh
want to see them. What do we got here?
yeah, we're gonna see him. So
Okay.
another tweet that was interesting is this guy sent Mark Cuban an email and check this out. Hey Mark,
You've
check out
been
Curio
watching them.
Cards. They're an OG NFT collection from 2017. Just research blah 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 blah. Mark Cuban been watching them. So
Right.
Mark Cuban's on, right? So if you've been in this game or you've been watching apes and aliens and craniums and cats and dogs and all this stuff popping every week, slamming your head into the wall, going, "Why didn't I buy this?" You know, cat that looks like a Pop Tart with a rainbow coming out of his ass that's going for 20 ETH. Here's your chance. All right. So follow me along here. Now, this is pretty awesome. This guy put together a chart of like really old projects
Oh, that's cool. The
because
definitive guide to early NFTs. I like
this
that.
is a pretty good guide because there's a lot of arguments that are taking place and people are saying, oh, this project, people are coming in and saying, well, the rare Pepes were they predated Curio cards, but they weren't on Ethereum. And there's all these other projects. So it's really interesting. I recommend going screen saving this, checking it out. And but on Ethereum, the two earliest ones on Ethereum, according to this, is this Etheria and Curio cards. Now, Curio cards is being credited right now with being the oldest NFT art project. Etheria is not an art project. This is Etheria. And this thing is
Say
like
what?
it's like basically the Decentraland beta test.
OMG. How old is that now?
Um 2015 apparently.
Wow. You're like looking at some wow, that is really I mean, like early land.
And it looks like a Settlers of Catan type of game or something. I don't
Interesting.
even know if I don't know if the game I don't know anything about this. I don't know if the game works. All I know is I'm priced out because the cheapest tile is like 5 Ethereum right now.
I've looked at other games like this and not this old, but I'm drawing a blank on some of them. Maybe I'll look while you're demoing this.
Yeah, so it's definitely cool. It's definitely historical. If I had, a little bit more Ethereum, I'd probably waste some on one of these tiles just because it's like super old.
Super cool.
But moving along to If you want to check this out, go to etheria.world. You can check out more about the game and stuff. It looks interesting. On Now on OpenSea, we have the top NFT projects. If you don't know about OpenSea, OpenSea is essentially eBay for NFTs. You don't need to log in. You don't need a password. Your crypto wallet is your login, and you sign. You can use Ledger through MetaMask, and you can start buying NFTs, selling NFTs. It's pretty cool. Now, the last 7 days, Curio Cards has exploded like
Oh, damn. Of
1,600%.
course
So
it
like
has.
they're on the radar. But the interesting thing is like CryptoPunks, I don't know why it doesn't have the floor price. The floor price for punks right now, it's got to be somewhere between like 15 to 20 Ethereum. And there's 10,000 units. Curio Cards, there's 12.8 thousand units. So it's a similar supply, but it predates punks, and it's nowhere near the amount of collectors or even the amount of money invested in it. And the floor price is zero point 0.1 Ethereum. So you can still get into this. You still have a chance to pick something up and get a piece. And we'll take a look at these cards
And it's
now.
interesting, because people always, joke about it too. Like, that's a questionable artwork or pixelized whatever. But these are literally being swooped up, and like the prices of these things are being run up because of the rarity, the scarcity, and the history, right?
Definitely.
Collectors want this
Whales.
stuff. They're
Yeah.
yeah, they're buying parts of history. They want the CryptoPunk flex, like the Rolex, of Ethereum NFTs or whatever. They want that in their Twitter handle, right? Like, or even just owning one, to like own a punk, right? Like if you're a trader, right, and you made some money and you've had a successful, run or whatever, like what do, right? You go out, treat yourself to some material things. If you're into crypto, why not buy yourself a punk or something, right? Like, sure,
Yeah.
why not?
And the way the punks are, like the punks are top tier. Like I dream of owning a punk one day. I think I will own a punk one day. We'll see how it goes. But the thing about punks is the high level punks, the way they're traded is they are like these, they're like masterpiece works in the like the legacy art world basically. It's like Mona Lisa, Rembrandt's, all this stuff. It's like they're so high valued that like typically any of these other ones, like you list something for sale and then somebody either buys it or they give you a bid. The way the high level punks are traded is if you own a top tier punk, like you don't even need to list it for sale. Whales are going to start sending you offers every day, and you're going to have to resist these offers. So if you own some punk that you bought for $1 million, somebody's going to offer you 2 million for it, and then somebody's going to come along and outbid them and offer you 4 million for it or whatever. I'm getting pretty ridiculous with these imaginary numbers, but it's like imagine getting into one of these other projects real low, and then you're like, I'm not ever selling this, and you log into your OpenSea account one day and it's like you have an offer for like 100 Ethereum. You're going to be like,
Right.
all right, I
Click.
don't want it that bad. So
Yeah.
the thing is, these whales, they have so much money and they want it so bad, they're coming in, they're going to rip it out of your hands. They're going to be like, listen, peasant, that's not for you. I will take it. Here's the Ethereum.
And in
Out
that
of here.
situation, I think I would gladly. But hey, it is what it is. Like you said, man, some people, I mean, some people have thousands of Ethereum laying around, right? Like
Yep.
they don't care.
So Curio cards, this was there's 30 cards. It was set up as like, an experimental type art project. These guys were ambitious. They got a bunch of cool artists that are still around today, and you can follow them all on Twitter. You can find them. And these were individual drops. So it's like, these three cards were created by the same artist. I'm not gonna say this right, sorry, but it's
Marisol
Marisol
Vengus. I'll take yeah.
Vengus.
I took a stab at it.
Yeah. So shout out to him, her, he, them. And that was the drop. And the way this was set up is they had a website and they had like these vending machines, they called them. And these were $1 a piece, and you went in and you like bought your cards and you got your cards out. And every week during this project, they did a new drop. So like this guy, he contributed his three works, and you know 330 sold, 222, 111. So some of the supplies are different on these. Roback, he's on Twitter. You guys can find Roback. He's still active with the project. I think he's holding a lot of these cards
That's
too.
pretty cool. That one's actually kind of like it's got a GIF on there.
Yeah, so I was on a stream, they were talking about the limitations at the time that they could only put 2 frames in, and he was
So
upset
that's two
about it.
frames twitching back and forth. I
Yeah,
love it.
but this might be the first GIF, GIF file, or this might be the first animated NFT on Ethereum. I'm pretty sure it is, that
Very
we know
interesting.
of. We have to preface everything with that we know of,
Right, right.
because
I don't want to get off track, but this was actually something like a subject that was brought up about Bitcoin. Like, have there been NFTs minted on Bitcoin? But apparently there have been. I
yeah,
haven't had a chance to like do much research on that.
I think the Pepes were minted on Bitcoin,
We'll
but
have to
I
look
don't
that
really
up.
I don't really understand how they're doing it, and I'm not familiar with that stuff yet. But there was like some sort of like this counterparty wallet, and I'm pretty technical. I'm pretty savvy with crypto.
Yeah, no, I
Like
understand.
even deeper off, like
Let's not get too technical because we don't need
so
to. This is very interesting to me because I've never seen any of this stuff. Obviously, it's like looking at NFT history.
right. So it is history. So when I first stumbled on this, I was like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just speaking honestly, and I have respect for this project and all these artists, but like my first impression was like, these are stupid. 'Cause I didn't understand it. I was like, these are stupid. I don't get it.
I like the
Some
BTC City Group logo there. That
right.
I like that. Mine
Shout out
Bitcoin.
to
These are
Crypto
good.
Graffiti.
What are you talking about? These are stupid. These are good, man.
Follow Crypto Graffiti on Twitter. He's still around doing good artwork and stuff. Very active and doing. Wish I remembered what he's involved with some current project, but he's doing like really innovative, like technical stuff. You got to follow him on Twitter for sure. But yeah, like the thing is, these are just like so random and stuff. I didn't really get it, but I was listening to a live stream of these guys breaking down like how the project rolled out, and it was like, so there's all different sorts of things you need to consider when you're collecting. People are trying to build sets. There's whales right now trying to build 30 card sets. Now, when these were dropped, like the first drop was this apple, nuts, and berries. That was the week one. And all these were up. Now,
I'm not gonna make a joke about nuts and berries. Continue.
yeah, so um, the first time I looked at this apple card, I was like, that is so dumb. I was like, why would I buy an apple? Like, why would I buy this apple on a like it just like turned me off. And then when I heard them breaking it down, they were like, the apple is like basically tells like a story, and it's like metaphorical in a sense. So it's like all this is like early human innovation, and then this road NFT is like the future, and then we transition to the crypto age.
Ah, okay. All
So
right.
it's pretty cool, and it made more sense to me, and I was like, okay. And so like you have this apple, nuts and berries. They're like, that's like sustenance, like the essential, like, we had to like hunt and gather before we could progress to like innovating. And then it's like the clay, the paint, the ink and quill.
Turned
And
into
then,
Renaissance kind of sculpture, painting books.
yeah, so like these next three were dropped together. And then 7, 8, 9 were dropped together. And this is like, sculpture, painting, literature. And then something I noticed, which I don't know if this was done on purpose, but it's like the clay goes with the sculpture, the paint goes with the painting, and the quill goes with the books. So I don't know if there's a collector out there. Maybe if you bought the sculpture, you want to pick up the clay card. Maybe if you got the Mona Lisa, you want the paint. I don't know. Something to consider. Another
Or
thing
like
is people,
selling them as sets or whatever. I understand.
yeah. So on OpenSea, you will see a lot of like 3 card sets because people know they're not going to be able to get, everybody can't get the 30, everybody can't get a full set, but you can put together like a 3 card set
Well,
being,
what's one of these going for right now?
we'll, all different prices. We'll pull up
Okay.
OpenSea next.
I kind
So,
of want one. I'm not gonna lie. I want that
oh,
BTC one or like one of these. These are good.
yeah, so like this is a nice set. I picked up this set because I was like, they're all pretty affordable, and I was like, okay, like they go together. They're
Yeah, those
they're
are cool.
awesome. They look sweet, but you can see it's the same artist, so it's crypto graffiti, all three. So like if you buy this as a set, it's like same theme, sequential order, and same artist. So it's like a mini set. So that's something cool that you can put together, and then maybe that creates more value for when you want to sell it down the road, if you want to sell it. And then uh, these parody ones, these are kind of my favorites out of the whole lot.
Yeah,
Is
those are
like
cool too.
the Coca-Cola parody. I forget who did these, but uh, it's all on the website. Let's just let's credit these guys. So Crypto Pop did the dogs.
I like this website
Neat.
too, how they have all their artists, in here so you can go look that up. That's slick.
Right on. Yeah, and I'm trying to find who did those.
This website's actually very nice.
I guess they don't have my man on here. I don't know who did those
So is
parody
this
ones.
project like ongoing, like they're still working on stuff, or
No,
this thing is just this is it? It's been,
this was
done for a
basically
long time.
like it was basically like a failed project in 2017. Like these guys were like hustling, putting the stuff out and trying to like promote it and sell it to like pay artists and like fund. They had other aspirations they wanted to fund with this, and it never took off. And I think they're going to be all right because now they're a lot of them are still holding a lot of the cards. And when these were minted,
It'd be interesting to see if like now later on, like many years later, when like now all of a sudden these are gonna have some value that wasn't there before, like maybe some of these projects get resurrected or something, like they get the
right,
band back together or
right,
whatever.
yeah, Curio Cards too, or something
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
that's very, I mean, again, I keep saying this is very interesting, but it is, man. I feel like we're like where else do you get content like this anywhere? Like only here, right? Only at the Stacks Club, guys. So
Right.
why we keep talking about this? Go hit those
Smash that
buttons.
like and
Yeah, go hit those
subscribe.
damn buttons and we're gonna bring you the content that no one else does.
So this raccoon one, this eclipse card, this is pretty cool to me because this is like also, way more frames animated, looks sweet, and it's like one of the first animated NFTs on Ethereum. I don't have this one yet, but I really want it, and I might pick it up in a week or so. And
That one was
another,
a little bit more expensive. Yeah, that one was like
yeah,
one Ethereum.
well, not when you get to see some of these other ones.
Well, again, I'm not trying
Right
to
on.
whale into these things. I'm looking for something maybe a little bit more affordable.
Oh yeah.
I don't have
And that's
thousands of
what's
S laying
awesome
around like
about
you.
this project is these guys, they've been doing live streams and they all sound really cool. And a lot of these guys are sitting on 100 cards or 300
So
editions of
awesome though.
one card, and they're putting them up, man, and they're not being greedy. They're distributing them. They're really like letting this flow, and they're providing like cheap liquidity, letting them come out so that like the community can grow and take off. And I think that's awesome. Like for as historical as this is, and that it predates punks, and you can come in here, and even if this is all you can afford, this Mad Bitcoin, shout out to Mad Bitcoins, Bitcoin OG on YouTube and uh, Twitter, everywhere else. $180. Okay. I know everybody doesn't have $180, but I also know a lot of you have blown well more than $180
I,
on something a
kn-
lot less
I
historical.
also know a lot of you spent that much about an hour ago
Right.
in your stop loss that just got torn or shreds.
Right. So why not come on over here and snatch up, even these ones like, what are you talking? $200, you get in all these right here around under 200 bucks, around 200 bucks. You got a variety. The Citibank one's sweet. This is some like
I do like that
British
city one. I
bankers.
got a
This is some British bank parody or something,
personal
but
tie to the
also
city.
cool. The MasterCard parody, very cool. And now this one of my favorites here, this Mona Lisa. Let's take a look at this. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm aping in on these.
Why is this your favorite?
Um, I don't know if it's not my favorite, but for me, this is a real sweet spot. So if we look at the cards and you look at the supplies, from what the creators were talking about on some of the streams I was listening to, they said like some of the least desirable cards, people didn't buy them, so they got lower mints. So I don't know if that means
Oh, okay.
this card, but now this card goes for like 10 Ethereum because it's the lowest mint in the collection, right?
Even though it's just
Uh,
kind of a design.
right. 111. So it's like,
Now, so they won't mint anymore, so whatever the supply is the fixed supply forever?
yeah, it's 12,700 something units.
I mean, for each individual one of these as well, right?
No,
Like,
12,700 total. So like for this one, it's 111 total.
and that's it forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the building drop, I don't know if it wasn't popular at the time, but it's like the yellow boy over here, 200. That's a low mint. Pink, 400. Fairly low
So
mint.
interesting.
Yeah.
So
Now,
even the stuff that is quote unquote less popular then
is
now is
more
drawing more
valuable
of a
now.
market demand because it's lower mint.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting, like market dynamics and tokenomics that I'm telling you, man, people don't get it. This stuff's going to start coming at them real fast. And, if you're not already learning about it, better start learning now.
Yep. So, and there's something else I need to mention is uh, this project predates the ERC 721 contract, which is what most of your NFTs are. If you don't know, we don't need to get too technical, but there's two types of NFTs. There's ERC 721s and then there's 1155s. And this project predated both of those. So the way that they're traded on OpenSea is they had to create a wrapping tool, just like you have wrap BTC, wrapped ETH. They made a wrapping tool, and these are wrapped from the original I think they're ERC 20s, and they're wrapped to upgrade them so that they can be traded on the ERC 721 contract. So like to me that's even cooler that like
They're
they
just that
predate.
old. Yeah.
It's like, oh, those like they're older than NFTs. Like,
Right. No,
you
that's
know,
neat. That's, again, very interesting. It's a whole area that's probably interesting to certain collectors. especially people that value history. You know, I'm sure like an eccentric dude like Mark Cuban who's looking around for stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people like, famous, celebrities and stuff are collecting and looking at stuff in cryptocurrency right now too. It's not just him. So
Right. And when we say do your own research, like what the information we're giving you is part of your own research, but you got to go do more. Like this is how I figured out a lot of this stuff. Like another really interesting thing, like when you do your research, you start finding out little like Easter eggs. So this apple, 1800, now value is all subjective, but an 1800 mints, but from what I was reading on Twitter, some guys were talking about they're trying to figure out which one of these was minted first, and they had done some chain analysis, and from their research, not mine, it was determined that the Apple was in fact the first one minted on Ethereum. And then people were saying, well, that doesn't mean which one was bought first, because like these were all available at the same time. And they said the Apple was the first purchase from their chain analysis. So this Apple goes for like right now like 1.3 Ethereum. And if you look at the supply, 1800, it's going for a higher premium than like some of these other cards that have lower mintages. So like this Heineken and this Coca-Cola, these are 500, they each have 500 units. And then the Apple is down here fetching going for over double, and
right.
it's got 3 times the supply, almost 4 times the supply.
But
So
because it's the first, it's kind
it's
of
the
like the
first.
numero uno.
So like tell me somebody's not going to come in here and a bunch of whales are going to go 1.3 Ethereum for the first art NFT ever minted on Ethereum. I'll take 10 of those, please. Like that's what they're going to do, because the reason they're going to take 10 of them
If you say
is
so.
now they can scale out. And as it goes up, if this goes to 10 Ethereum, you sell one off when it goes to 3. You sell one off when it goes to
Scroll
5.
down a little bit. Like what else is down there?
Yeah, so these are what's available on OpenSea, and some of the cards aren't
Was
available.
that
So
50 Ethereum? Wow. Okay.
yeah, uh, and the last price is 15. So the sucker went for 15. This one just somebody bought this a couple days ago for 18. This one sold for 18. Uh, like this one, there's only 200 of this yellow, and I think this was trading around 1 Ethereum like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, somebody that was holding these or like collecting them is loving life right now.
And then this Wendy's one goes with the Heineken and the Coke set and has the same mint number, I believe, but it fetches a premium. It just, to me, like it looks sweet. Like it's pretty cool.
No, those are neat. I
Like
think
to
I
me,
like
this
this
is
whole collection. Again, I appreciate you like, sharing this with us and doing the digging and the research and
this
explaining
dog
it
one
because
just got. This guy just got pretty cheap. This was, since I've been watching, this dog one was like over 1 Ethereum. So like somebody else is like coming in undercutting now, or maybe somebody with a stack came in. But I want to talk about this Mona Lisa. Like, okay, now the supply that OpenSea is providing is 1.2K. So 1,200 units. Like this is a sweet spot for me because like I'm priced out of those high cards. I don't have 10, 20 Ethereum to be thrown at like single NFTs. Now these, like, to me, like,
that's
yeah, there's,
approachable, right? I understand.
yeah, like you got to use your imagination. Like, does it sound far-fetched that like in a year people are talking about like the Mona Lisa, like it's the first representation of the Mona Lisa on Ethereum.
Ah, okay.
It's the first representation of a real world art piece. So it's like crypto art is always compared to legacy art, real world meat space art. So to me, like,
I like the angle there, kind of, you know, your thinking, your thought process there. Like this is not typical thought process.
right. So like if I could only get one card, I would probably snatch this one up because I just think it's so sweet. And people were talking about it in one of the discords or something, and uh, guy was like celebrating. He's like, "Hey man, he's like, check out my Mona Lisa. I just got." Another guy was like, he's like, "Damn," he's like, "That's a clean ass Lisa." So now it's like that's like the meme in the community is like clean Lisas. Is like, who's got them clean Lisas? Like, I don't know about you, but in 2024, I want to have a little pile of clean Lisas. Like,
That's awesome.
put some in the cold storage, right?
I love it.
So it's pretty sweet.
Well,
Like,
if you're gonna go mess around, you know, with gas fees actually not completely insane right now, now's not a bad time to be cruising around, you know, some of these projects or like OpenSea. Actually, I heard OpenSea was working on a like a cross-chain solution. And when I go and reach out to a few other chains besides Ethereum as well, I hadn't actually done the reading on that, but that sounded interesting.
yes, that is true. And well, I won't go into it, but
Yeah,
there is
we need to start
Matt,
wrapping it up anyway. We were already an hour long,
right?
so
There is Matic integration now. So if you hold an NFT on Matic chain, it'll show up on here in on the same address. So like there are, and I think they're bringing more chains. So they'll probably bring like all the side chains.
wax.
Maybe we'll see Wax. I don't
Can
know
you
if
imagine?
what.
See, someday though, I really think that not. I mean, take the whole NFT marketplace thing aside, but I think that automation and you know, just the way things work with open source technologies, I think you will start seeing more chain interoperability, and not just, you know, the mechanisms, but the marketplaces like this. Like, why wouldn't an OpenSea also
Oh
want to
yeah.
have Wax and Matic and, you know, all of these other chains, Engine, et cetera, right? Like link up Ronin, link up all this. Now maybe they want, you know, maybe an Axie Infinity only wants, you know, their things sold on their own
Well,
network, on their own
crypto
marketplace,
doesn't.
but
Yeah, crypto doesn't care about what one person wants
exactly,
because
it's
crypto
about
will find a
consensus.
way to, you know, get around that. But we are seeing the development and integration of a lot of bridges right now. So the first thing was you had L1 to L2 bridges, and then recently we're getting L2 to L2 bridges. So you're getting Matic Polygon connecting to Binance Smart Chain. So you don't have to go back down to the base layer and over to get back up to the other L2, which is super convenient. So I wouldn't be surprised if pretty soon we'll have some sort of way, like there will be a wrapper tool and then there will be a bridge, and you'll basically deposit the NFT into the bridge contract, and then it'll send it on over, and then
Yeah,
you'll
but
have that
I don't think
NFT
it'll
on another
be, I mean,
chain.
it even sounds complicated when you explain it, but it'll just be like, put your NFT here, you know, it'll send it there, right?
Oh,
Like
the
you won't.
UI will be slick. The
Yeah.
UI will be
And all this
press.
stuff will be seamless, and even a lot of, you know, the way things work with trading right now and manually doing things on exchanges and stuff. We won't be doing that in the future. We won't be doing that in the very near future because, you know, trading liquidity pools, there's just so many available mechanisms to do automated trading, you know, without actually having to do the way we do things today. It's just kind of the writings on the wall.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like your lazy people and your novices are going to be stuck. They're just going to be stuck on like the fiat on ramps, and they're just gonna, but they're gonna enjoy it. Like they're not gonna care. It's like ignorance is bliss. That's where they're gonna live. And then the people that want to go further and get their hands a little dirtier, they'll get into where they're actually on chain and they're using the open source protocols and doing all the fun stuff.
I'm with you. I'm with you. That's probably a good place to stop. Was there anything else that you wanted to look at? I mean, I appreciate you going through the Curio cards as well. Like that was super interesting and also something that I had never seen before. So hopefully some other people out there in internet land, you guys watching, found that interesting because I sure did.
Yeah, that's about it. So if you want to check them out, you can go to Curio.cards is the website, and you can go check, or you can go to gallery.curio.cards and look at all 30 cards, or you can head over to OpenSea.io and you can type in Curio.cards and you can go look at the whole collection, see what's available, do some shopping. If you don't have enough for a card, you can always make an offer. Sometimes people will accept an offer if it's one of the higher cards, you know.
Yeah, no, I would definitely go. Not only do a little cruising around there, but I might have to do a little shopping on that. That's way too cool. I
Yeah,
got the wheel up too. Let's get this wheel spun so we can give away our
spin it
rabbit
up.
hole pack. So changing gears here, just to kind of wrap up the show. So yeah, appreciate that too, Ray. Appreciate all the comments. If you have any questions for you know the mayor or about any of the content we covered about the history of NFTs and stuff, this is super fun. We love doing stuff like this. So appreciate all the comments, feedback. Let us know if there's anything that want to see beyond what we covered today. Um, this wheel is again for Rabbit Hole, our partners, and we'll go take a look at the Silver Hole packs. So this is for one Silver Hole pack, and the form for entering your name and wallet address is in our Telegram group. So if you're not already in our Telegram, go out there and join. Lots of fun, cool, interactive stuff in our Telegram every day. Also, chances to win cryptocurrency and interact with your peers, and we're doing all kinds of fun stuff in there. We also have a free news channel that keeps up to date with all the latest streams from all of our favorite streamers and YouTube content providers. So, that's a real nice kind of setup. So, take advantage of it. Again, this is for the rabbit hole pack, and this one was special as well. So if you're not familiar with rabbit hole NFTs, man, those are some great artists at that project. Go out and check this out on Atomic Hub, and we'll just throw the collection in here as well. rabbithole.com. Again, these are just some amazing artists, some guys doing really pushing the envelope on the NFT, not just designs, but utilities, games, community interaction, and just some great people involved in that project. So we're super happy to be involved with their products and love to give away stuff. So this particular series of rabbit packs actually has a special NFT that I believe is still available too. So if you find it, it's actually worth 500 wax. And if you want to find the details about that, go out and read more about it. Again, this pack contains 10 NFTs and a proof of rabbit with a chance to win that special one of one. Have any questions? Holler at us. Go follow them on Twitter too, and as always, follow us so that you can get all the latest and greatest updates from around the markets and metaverse. We're gonna spin this wheel without further ado. Let's get it on. I probably should have queued up some music for this. Maybe next time I'll get a little bit more organized there, Mayor. But the when I used the wheel music the last time, I got DMA'd and they tried to remove our video. So This actually, I need money. I actually know that wallet. That's a good one. Actually, like that custom wallet address. He needs money. He's about to get a rabbit hole pack. Thank you very much for participating. I have the your email address as well, so I will email you and we'll get that pack out to you right away. Uh, Again, if you didn't get in this drawing, we're gonna put another rabbit hole drawing pack up right away in our chat room. If you have not been out to our website recently, we are gearing up for the Miami Crypto Experience. Those dates have been finalized. It's going to be 10th, 12th, 10th through the 12th of November in Miami. We're going to be at the Hyatt. The details are in the website, but we'll make a post when it gets a little closer about the venue and all that good stuff. Come jump in our Telegram again. Free to join, all kinds of interactive, cool, fun stuff to do in there. And we'll put up another form for a giveaway for next week's show. And in next week's show, we'll also kind of include like a participation prize. So we're going to continue to build this thing out and continue to have fun with it. Thank you for looking at the charts with us again. Mayor, thank you for just joining us tonight. Thank you for the amazing, research and feedback. Appreciate you guys joining us out there in internet land and hitting those buttons again, because that's how you guys. Thank you, Dub Wizard. That's how you guys help us, kind of get this message out there. But not only like our message, but our brand, right? We want to build a network of trusted individuals and people that are building real things, right? Real projects, real people doing real things. That's what we keep hammering, and that's how we kind of take this next level together. Is by supporting those people, right? Building these communities that are aware, self-aware of who's doing what, right? And a lot of people are on the take out there, right? And all of us want to make money, and sure, we want to incentivize, our own community and build it and grow, and we would love to be able to take care of, our staff and, have salaries and that sort of thing. But again, that's with growth and with time, and we're not going anywhere. We're not in a hurry. That allows us to build a network as we see fit, right? And we don't participate or allow anything or anyone in our network that we don't want to be there, right? So that gives us a very unique way of building not only a network of people and trusted individuals with a lot of individual skill sets, but this business and building businesses out of digital communities and or having business services that digital communities provide is very new, and even today when we kind of talk about it, it's different from traditional business speak and mentality, because even from like my old school of like entrepreneurial, whatever you want to call it, it's like the golden rule was like, how do you make the money, right? How do you make the money? That's all that matters, right? How do you make the money? How do you make the money? How do you make the money? If you're not making money, or your business plan is not about making money, then you should just stop. That's not how things are today. The world is changing. The world has gotten a lot smaller. The internet has changed. Anyone can create a business almost instantly. Uh, you know, don't hesitate, right? Get off zero, go out there, push buttons. If it's not a group of people like us that that you feel comfortable with, find another one. Whatever it is, right? Don't be afraid of cryptocurrency. Push those buttons, remove those stigmas. In the end, this is all about experimentation, and a lot of this stuff is new, right? So uh you know I say that, and then we're literally did a show on the history of NFTs and like some of these really old, historical NFT projects. But I think that's pretty cool to like go full circle from then to now, whereas like we're kind of watching this like NFT renaissance or like rebirth of NFTs and a lot of chains and gaming and what we keep talking about, which is like entertainment, right? Entertainment seems to be like the next. big thing that's going to involve distributed ledgers and blockchains and cryptocurrency, but not just like projects and that sort of thing, but like people and big businesses that are already in business as well. At least I see that from my standpoint too. Maybe I'm rambling here. Stop me anytime, Mayor. But like just like the gaming aspect alone, right? I see the light going off on people. I see the Axie Infinity starting to blow up. I see, the Filipino uprising and like, this game kind of like taking the country by storm and not just the country, but like, the culture that's kind of forming around this. I think that's a tidal wave that's going to continue. That's just starting now. And that's just one title. There's many of them across many developers and many projects and many chains now they're building this kind of steam, and it's not just because they're blockchain games or whatever anymore. These are great titles. They're fun to play games too, but it's about like ownership. It's about being involved from the ground floor. It's about kind of watching these things evolve. But then also it's about the scarcity, right? Like these are not just titles where corporations are pumping unlimited supply items and like recycling titles. Like that's not what this is, right? This is very different. These developers, these projects are very, very different from anything we've ever seen in history prior to this point. And even a lot of the people I talk to, and even kind of that stigma today in some circles around cryptocurrency is maybe these games aren't really that fun or that playable or whatever yet, but they've evolved quite a bit. And again, if you haven't kind of seen some of that stuff, we're going to bring a lot more of that content to people. I'm looking forward to kind of getting more of a streaming rig kind of set up so that we can show some games and display some things at not only conventions but streaming as well. But uh, you know, again, I really see all of this starting to come together, right? The NFTs, the art, the gaming, the entrepreneurship, the businesses that are being able to empower digital consumers, individuals that may not have been able to do the same things that they could have 10 years ago that they can today, just with what's in front of me right now. An internet connection, a computer. Now, obviously, I have some eye candy in front of me here, but um, you know, that's something we show people too. Now you can add a streaming service to your business portfolio and use it as a tool for whatever you want, and it's not very difficult to do. 10 years ago, it was very difficult to do. And that's the kind of the difference that technology is making. um and again, that's another trend that's going to continue, right? Technology is going to continue to make things easier, more automated when it comes to, sharing things on the internet. As long as we make sure that, you know, that we keep that open source mentality and sharing things openly and publicly, so that the censorship, a lot of the stuff that's kind of going on in the world, that tugging and that sort of thing with big media, big tech, doesn't become an issue for us in the future. Any thoughts? I've been rambling for about 10 minutes, Mayor. Stop me anytime here. So
Yeah, a lot of these games, they're still trying to figure it out, but with the popularity now, the users are gravitating towards things like Axie Infinity. Users are gravitating towards well, they're gravitating towards play to earn, but play to earn's not going to be the only model. You're also just going to have an ownership model where it's like you're not, these companies, they got complacent. Like you're not going to be able to put the same crap game out every year
no way,
annually,
no way.
strip my whole inventory, and then make
And
me
pay
buy it
sixty
back
dollars a
again.
year for the same ass recycled crap right? And you
Right.
don't own anything. And when get a new Xbox, there goes all your stuff or whatever. And even if some of it carries over to the same titles, you don't own anything. You don't own any of it. It's not in your wallet. And I see the light going off and people when they play a blockchain game and they get that first NFT and it drops into their wallet and they're like, holy shit, like I own this, right? Like this is
And
in my wallet. It's actually, I could trade it, I can sell it, like this is mine, right? And then I see the light going off. And again, I think it's almost like, an uprising more in, I don't want to say third world country because the Philippines is, not really, I guess I technically you could say it that, but like an economy of scale, the Filipino peso versus the US dollar is very different, right? So it has more of an impact in an area there where someone can earn an income and it's a viable income playing a video game, right? This is real fucking
yeah,
life, Mayor.
yeah. Well, it's just the a year ago, if you were into Axes, like you were playing, and if you wanted to, you could breed, but you didn't have to. And now it's progressed to the point to where the floor price to like be an owner is so high that you have people that are just like, you know, they got $10,000 or more invested, and they got like, you know, breeding lines set up like they're, you know,
This Axie Infinity thing is going nuclear. I mean, I don't even know that there's going to be a word for it. Again, the floor is very, high, right? The
what
barrier to entry is tough right now, but I know they're going to work ways to counter that
well,
as well. And,
the
you know,
entry is high, but the entry's so high that it's creating a new class now. So you have like the early adopters are at the top, but now the players are coming in and they can play the game without like putting any money up, and they can just earn. And then it's being outsourced because essentially what the players are doing is it's play to mine. So they're mining something that has constant buy pressure, which is the SPL love token or
SLP,
whatever,
yeah,
SLP
SLP.
love token.
We'll do a whole show on Axie because we need to.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I gotta bounce. So awesome show, man. And
Dude, it's just always a pleasure. I'm so glad that we're doing these in this format, and getting more organized. And I'm just having a blast with this kind
consistency.
of stuff. Yeah, man, consistency. We're gonna be here every week. We're meeting all kinds of new people, and we're experimenting with all kinds of different things and involved in all kinds of projects now. And I'm just so happy with
It's
the progress we're
also
making. So
it's also so much easier now where, in 2018, like me and you used to talk to each other in the DMs like all day. There was nothing to talk about. It was like
right,
Bitcoin's going sideways for 6 months
and now it's like
and
we can't
all
even
these
keep
projects
up.
are failing. What do you want to talk about? Now
Yeah.
it's like you want to do a show every week. There's something to talk about. Like there's
Uh,
tons of developing stories and
we're talking about NFTs being sold for millions of dollars, and I mean, hey, whatever. Like I said, man, this is it. This is why we made this club. This is why we're kind of putting this out there. Why we went public. This is why a lot of our friends are getting involved. And that's what we want to do: support each other, help each other reach our goals. Learn things about not only cryptocurrency but these networks and these people and these projects and games and all the amazing things that we can get involved in to help support each other and these communities and what's important, and get away from some of that big corporate nonsense, right? What's wrong with that? Nothing. So that's probably a great way to end. Again, thank you very much, as always, for joining us. All you guys out there, thanks for the follows. I need to do, kind of a stream ending to thank, about 1 million people, but you guys all know who you are.
Shout
All
out to
the
Doc.
Yeah, Doc, thank you. And he's probably passed out. The poor guy has, been working his butt off. All of our staff members, everybody, on the chats and our social media. I appreciate all of you guys. Um, without you and without you guys buying in, there's no way we would have made it this far. And whatever happens from here on out, is just like it's like icing on the cake, baby. So we're gonna keep on moving and keep stacking the planet. Thank you, Ray. Thank you guys, everybody. We're gonna throw up the ending soon here and play out with a little music. Again, just hit those buttons, guys. We want to help, likes, retweets, shares, get the word out there, jump in Telegram. Um, and again, just share the word and share the love. That's what it's all about. Thank you very much, Doc. Take care. Have a great night, buddy.
Later.